Hello again. Here's a little golden nugget that I want to offer you of something that I learned a while ago that traces back to what we were talking about in the video yesterday that has to do with connecting more directly in our relationship with animals. That was what that was about. But this is about people, and it's one aspect of taking the messiness out of the equation when we're dealing with relationships with people. And this had to do with two incidents that I had where things were going awry with my cars on different occasions. One situation where my battery went dead and I had to call roadside assistance, and a guy came to help me out. And as I was leaving the house to go outside and greet him, I heard the phrase, "forget about the get." It was loud and clear, and I knew what it meant, even though I had never heard the phrase before. And it was basically about kind of calming myself down and staying in the moment with that person, even though I had to get to work. I was under a time crunch. I didn't have enough time for him to come and do all this stuff and to happily get to work in a time frame that was really going to feel good for me. And at the time I was teaching horseback riding lessons to children and adults with special needs, so I didn't want to leave people hanging waiting for me to get there. It was tense for me. That's all I want to say. It was tense for me, and that tenseness could have ended up actually damaging the connection that I was going to have in relating to this person, because it made it messy. All the things that I needed from him, and that I needed him to be timely, and that I needed him to do the thing, and et cetera, et cetera. So forget about the get allowed me to forget about the get and just focus on the relationship that we were going to have in that moment. And the interesting thing about this is that it seems to make time stand still, because I can't understand how he did everything that he needed to do to deal with my battery. I can't remember what it was, whether he replaced it or jumped it or tested it or all the things that he did. But instead of focusing on that, I was focusing on our connection, and it turned out that we had a lot in common, because we had some friends in common from around this area, and then also we had some sort of ideas to share about things that were happening in the world at the time that we seemed to hit it off about in our discussions. And so forgetting about the get took all the messiness out of the equation, allowed us to have a genuine connection with each other, and for me to not relate from a state of feeling powerless because I was dependent on this person to do all these things. But instead of focusing on that, I was focusing on our relationship in that moment. And so anyway, it did something to affect time that I still to this day don't understand. And this happened another time when I was trying to get to work in the winter, and I have had my daughter's little Toyota truck that is really bad in the winter and in the snow and in everything. And I got stuck on a hump of ice, and I called roadside assistance, and it took forever for this guy to get here. And I didn't have that much time to get to work. And so I was stressing out during the time when I was waiting for him to come and thinking, this isn't going to happen. But I kept the faith. But again, as I was leaving the house to go out and greet him, I heard, "forget about the get." And it was such a gift to hear that, and to also understand what I had to do in that moment. Took all the pressure off of our connection so that I could really be with him. Turned out the guy was extremely funny and funny and fun, and had some things that he wanted to share with me to help me get out of that situation in the future, things that I needed to know about my truck. And he took extra time to go and turn the truck around so that I could safely go down the street in the right direction. But again, time did stand still, or time slowed down, or something happened with time, because there was no way that all that stuff could happen during the period that I had available to me and still make it to work on time. To this day, I can't explain it. But I think there's a relationship there between, again, we're talking about the direct experience with nothing in the way. And when we examine what's in the way and we scoop that out of the way, then something else occurs. When we're dealing directly with reality, maybe it changes the way time works. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. I'm observing it. I'm wondering how that all works. But anyway, this is just a little tidbit that I want to offer you. Next time you're feeling super stressed out, to allow you to trust that if you unplug all of that pressure from the situation, everything that you think you need to get in that situation, that kind of creates a sort of falseness between two people. When we clear that away, it makes room for other things to happen that have a sort of magical feel to them, including what it does with time. So we can focus on this more. I feel like it's really an important part of connecting with reality directly, in this case with people, and what we were talking about with the senses in the last video with animals, but also there are more dimensions to this. And, the goal really is to kind of get ourselves out of the way in various ways. So, as usual, I hope this had value to you. I hope it was helpful. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you. Thank you for listening.